Deep Dive is an ongoing Gamasutra series with the goal of shedding light on specific design, art, or technical features within a video game, in order to show how seemingly simple, fundamental design decisions are not really that simple at all. Check out earlier installments, including creating the striking pixel animations overall, achieving seamless branching in Watch Dogs 2's invasion of privacy missions, and creating the intricate level design of Dishonored 2's Clockwork mansion. Hello, my name is Henri Mustonen. I have been with Housemarque since 2009 and worked with such titles as Nation Outland, Stardust Delta Resogun and Alienation. My work entails game design and level design. For those unfamiliar with Nex Machina, it is a fast-paced twin-stick arcade shooter with deep scoring mechanics. It's a collaboration project with Eugene Jarvis, and it is inspired by Robotron 2085. Instant action, eliminate downtime as much as possible, was one of our guiding principles. When designing the car gameplay, we wanted players to be immersed from the very start of the level, and to keep the action ongoing. This meant we needed to cut as much of excess fat as possible and figure out what was really necessary to get the feeling you are on the knife's edge. You enter a level, rescue humans, kill all the enemies, and then you fly to the next. The progression is quite fast, and you will not be stuck in a level for more than around 15 to 30 seconds. You need to be able to read each situation in less than a second, and form a battle plan based on that. That means we need to have the actual challenges, entity behaviors, humans and enemies, and the consequences of your actions really obvious, so you can make good moment-to-moment decisions. Urgency is also an important point. We want you to prioritize things and try to do your best in a limited time frame. We are asking the player to balance multiple things during gameplay: layouts, humans, enemy spawns, dashing, secondary weapon, secret exits, visitor patterns, beacons, random disruptor enemies, and so on. Okay, now I flew to a new level. I need to rescue the humans, shoot this turret that is bothering me, but if I spend time on that, then I miss the temporary bonus enemy on the opposite side. The more things we are asking you to do in a limited time, the more swift you need to be in your prioritization. You cannot do everything unless you plan your gameplay. So whenever you enter a level, you formulate an initial plan of action and pretty much go from there. The first, most obvious thing you observe after landing is the layout. Clear changes in shapes, sizes and traversable areas are essential as a base to build from. We wanted all of our layouts to be open, so you would remain in danger throughout the level, since there is nowhere to hide. Starting location of each room determines how you are to navigate it, and what options you have. If we felt some levels needed to have more intensity, we generally experimented moving the player's spawn into the middle of the room. That made you especially vulnerable to any upcoming attacks, and gives the feeling of unease. As a rule of thumb, we wanted to make an effort to place the player in danger, with the ongoing pressure of enemies. It is important to have the layouts instantly readable with the color differences between walkable areas and non-walkable areas. We want to give you as clear information as possible on where to navigate and what areas will cause you dead ends. On our tests, one of our fans pointed out the best levels always had initial pre-spawned enemies waiting for you before new ones spawn. That served to keep up the pace and give you an initial challenge as you are saving the humans. It also acted as an introduction to the upcoming level's rules on enemy usage. Oftentimes, you got a taste on what to expect. Most of our enemies are placed as groups, not as individual enemies. Generally, we place splines, portals and area spawners, and define how those are populated, enemy type, amount, their action, spawn frequencies and so on. We learned that spline-like shapes were most recognizable and have the most fun to combat as a player. You learn the general shapes of spawners in each world, and subconsciously you are completing the shapes inside your head during the spawns. That gives you a small upper hand on the enemy spawns as you learn those. As far as placement goes, we wanted to play with the strengths of each layout and encourage you to navigate them using enemy spawns along with humans. We want to pull you in and draw you away using the spawns. The more we can make you progress and advance in the layout, the better. Most spawns happen with a quite rapid interval. This is to help you prioritize and understand what is going on in the playfield. If we had 5 long, independent spawners, for example, spawning with different paces, it's hard to keep up what comes next, which spawner is completed and so on. It's much more fun to have small compact challenges that you can overcome and move on. The humans are pretty mindless creatures, absorbed in their tablet devices, wandering around the playfield with no concern for their own safety. Your goal is to save the humans for various scar and token job benefits. All levels, humans are visible from the start, always. It gives you a plan of action when entering a new level. This also gave us certain anchor points for level design, since we can trust players to try navigating through them. Added to that, we also had harvester enemies that try to capture humans, so you need to go to their aid before they are killed. We wanted to create a sense of urgency as often as possible by having humans threatened by harvester enemies. If you are playing for high score, you do not rescue all humans at once. Your combo will drop, opening more opportunities for the harvester enemies to capture the humans during gameplay. This is one of the ways we force players to reevaluate their game plan when they see a human is in danger that they had left on its own devices, forming a plan of action based on the layout. Initial enemy spawns on human placement. Players get a quick idea of what they need to do and in what order, and they can begin to navigate the level accordingly. Next, you just have to see how the level starts unfolding and adjust. After the start of each level, we want to add pressure and something to shoot at. At all times, we want you to experience a sense of urgency, that if you do not deal with the challenges presented right now, they will escalate. We use enemy accumulation and human threats for this. We do not really try to stop players from feeling overwhelmed. It's mainly up to you to prioritize correctly and control the playfield with your toolkit. There is a balance though. We could just spawn everything at the very start of each level and be done with it. You sort it out. Understandably, however, we wanted there to be a good flow with the challenges that we give to the player, without the levels being too front or back heavy. Levels start with a taste of what's to come, expanding on that and then ramping it up. We want to keep you in that engaged state as long as possible, and waiting for something to happen is not engaging. No is frustration over impossible odds. We are mixing time and event-based triggering for the spawns. Time-based ones act independently of your actions, and event-based generally act on enemies killed. This was to give some predictability on structure, without being too obvious. Every level tends to unfold a little differently each time you play it. Some levels also have additional elements like randomly spawned disruptor enemies, visitor groups you need to locate and destroy before they disappear, beacons you need to destroy, and secret blocks you need to blow up. We overlay these elements along with regular gameplay to bring extra challenges. The level gameplay iteration was not exact science. Generally, we just kept our eyes open. Whenever there was a level that was clearly above the others and paid attention to it quite naturally, those were just really fun to play. Most of the time, though, it was playing and replaying the level again and again over a long period of time. Something might feel good for a day or two, but after a week you start seeing its faults, and how it no longer holds up. Then you iterate it more or try something else. In general though, we did not settle over a positive first reaction. We wanted the first and lasting impression of each level to be enjoyable. In each world, it was important to find good synergies between enemies, so that they can be mixed well, and provide interesting challenges, requiring different approaches solutions from you. We want players to feel that they managed to beat the odds by reading the playfield and doing the best decision accordingly in a short time, understanding the enemy behaviors, prioritizing the most dangerous ones, then using your toolkit to destroy them as fast as possible is challenging and rewarding.